Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Phrasal Productions podcast. My name is Jeff. I'll be your host. Now, today's episode is going to be about being a YouTube creator. Now, recently, I've had quite a few people, up and coming creators, current creators, reach out to me asking me about what I would suggest to them if they were going to start a YouTube channel, about some of the fun things about being a YouTube creator, some of the downsides, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So, the first thing that you need to remember when you are putting something out there for public consumption is that most people, when they start a YouTube channel, a lot of the younger people, especially, they say, I want to get rich, I want to be famous, I want to do this for a living. And I'm going to start off by saying that that is not the right attitude to have if you're going to start a YouTube channel. You have to assume, first off, that starting off, nobody is going to see your videos unless you have a really unique niche market. Most of the videos that you put up, personally for me, I put up over 200 videos before anybody really started seeing anything I put up. And there's a lot of people out there that have put up hundreds, if not thousands, of videos where none of them have taken off. So you could put a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of attention into these videos, but if you don't get a little bit lucky in the sense that something hits the algorithm and a lot of people see what you're putting out there, your channel may not go very far. So that's it. You definitely don't want to get into it for the money. You don't want to get into it for the notoriety. You want to get into it because you enjoy what you do. You enjoy the content you're putting out there. You enjoy researching the subjects that you're looking up. That's the main reason to do a YouTube channel. So if I were giving anybody advice about what to do in terms of how to create videos, that is what I would say. Do what you want to do what makes you happy, do what you're passionate about. That's the most important thing. Now, if your channel does start to go somewhere, here's a couple of things that you need to remember. One, you don't know who's seeing your videos. So you want to make sure that you remain professional and that you are proud of what you're putting out there. And I also have to say that one of the things that nobody really talks about when you're starting a channel is that you are going to get negative comments. You're going to get basement trolls that want to make fun of how you look. They're going to make fun of your voice. I get called, even today, I get called Kermit the Frog twice a week at least. And whether I sound like Kermit, I have no idea. I've always thought I sounded a little like a cartoon character. Certainly not a voice that I ever thought would be fitting for a channel that ever went anywhere or a podcast or anything like that. But be aware that you will get negative comments. You will get people that are correcting you. And sometimes the people correcting you will be right. Sometimes the people correcting you think that they are always right and that the facts are always wrong. And those people will fight you tooth and nail every minute of every day. And all I can say is don't feed the trolls. You can correct them. 9 times out of 10, they're going to come back and they're going to say, well, you're wrong. And my Uncle Bill was, such and such, or knew this person and they said this years ago. And, a lot of times, sometimes people are right, but a lot of times they just don't want to be proven wrong. And you have to remember that when it comes to creating videos. There's always going to be somebody criticizing you. There's always going to be a lot of people looking at what you're doing. And, luckily, if you get lucky, you're going to have a core group of people that are going to support you and that will stand up for you when they see things like that. So just be aware of that whatever you're putting out there, there's going to be some miserable people looking at what you're looking at what you're doing, listening to what you're saying, and just be aware of that. One of the other things that I would have to note is that personally for me, when I create a video, I always do it on a topic that I'm interested in. I do a lot of research. I go to the actual locations. That takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. And, sometimes I'll have an idea today. of something that I want to do, but I'm not going to get to that location for another 2 years. So I'll sit and I'll keep notes. I'll have a notebook, and it'll have locations in every state, so that if I happen to go through a particular state, that I'll know where I want to go, what I want to do, and that hopefully everything will work out in that way. It obviously doesn't happen that way, but one thing that I will say that I have noticed a lot is that the more effort that I have put into videos, some of the ones that I've been the most excited about, spent the most time filming, the most research on, are the ones that nobody watches. And sometimes that gets a little disheartening, and you're going to have moments where you are going to want to throw in the towel. You're going to say, this isn't worth it. Why am I still doing this? Nobody cares what I'm doing. But you have to remember why you started doing it, because you enjoyed it. And as long as you continue to enjoy it, keep doing it. If you get to a point where you stop enjoying it and things are not fun, then it's time to throw in the towel, maybe consider something else, take a break, whatever it is you need to do, reset your mind. But if you're still having fun with it, by all means do it. And this is kind of where it comes to another fork in the road, because there's a lot of people that have YouTube channels that are content creators that want to make it a full-time career. And once you make that leap, you can't take that back. Once you make that leap, you could have fun with it when it's a hobby. And for me, it's still a hobby. I still work regular jobs. I still have side gigs and all that kind of stuff. This is not a full-time gig for me. It is fun, but I do recognize that even once you hit over 100,000 subscribers, a subscriber count means absolutely nothing, because I still have videos that I put together, put a lot of work into, I'm proud of. I'll post it. It will get less than 500 views. Now, if you have over 100,000 subscribers, 500 views is less than 0.5% of your entire subscriber base. And from my perspective, that does happen quite a bit. The last 2 videos that I have put up, neither one have broken 500 views in the first week. And that's, it's not something to get upset about. Not every topic is going to resonate with all of your people. But one of the other things that I will say is that if you upload shorts on your video or on your channel, I would probably separate that out and have a channel for your long form content, and to have a channel for your shorts and your clips. A lot of the bigger channels do that, but if your channel takes off based on a couple of shorts that you do, they have a lot higher reach, a lot more people see them. But a lot of people who watch shorts will not watch long form content. So if you got more than half of your subscriber base from shorts, you are probably not going to have, that's probably half of your viewer base that's not going to watch any of your longer videos. So it's like having a smaller subscriber base, but they will watch your shorts. So if you keep putting up shorts, they will get views, but it's not going to help your long form content. And people told me this months, years ago even. When YouTube started introducing shorts, people were telling me, don't put this on my main channel, but those were the videos that were getting me the most views. So they were telling me, yeah, it may end up ruining your channel, but it might blow it up a little bit. And I will say that it did help the channel get to a certain level, but at the same time, the same people that are watching shorts are not the same people that are watching your normal videos. So keep that in mind. But going back to being proud of what you're putting out there, put the work in, be proud of it. And a video that doesn't do well today may pick up somewhere along the line. 6 months from now, a year from now, people might start seeing it. The retention might be good and it might take off. You just never know. But one of the things that gets hard as a creator is when you put so much work into a video and then you watch other people's channels and you see that somebody else did something similar, didn't put hardly anywhere near as much effort and as much work in as you did, and they get 50, 100,000 views. Everybody's channel is going to be different in terms of how your audience supports you. Personally, my channel, I have a core group of people that are really supportive, people that will watch everything that I do, but it's a very, very small number. And just because I put out a video doesn't mean, even after you get to a certain point, it doesn't mean everyone's going to watch it. It doesn't mean anyone's going to watch it. You just never know. I could put up a video and it brings in, 10, 20, 50, 100,000 people. I could put up another video the next day and it gets 300 views. So that is what I wanted to mention about consistency, is that if you think about doing this for a career or for a job and not a hobby, you have to remember a couple of things. One, not every video is going to take off. And if you get to the point where you rely on the income, you're going to start putting out, I hate to say garbage, but you're going to start putting out very low quality content, just because even if you're not feeling like putting up a video, if you're not passionate about a video you put together, you have to, because you still need to earn that income. And I can't tell you how many creators I've seen that with. They used to have really, really good videos, and then once they went to a career, it no longer became fun for them. It became a job. And instead of waking up in the morning and saying, hey, I'm really excited about making this video, they might wake up and think, oh, I have to make $100 today. And then they'll put, just some garbage video up. And we've all seen these kind of creators. They're all over the place. So I would suggest that if you're going to do this, either have a backup plan, another source of income, or just do it for fun. Because one of the other things that they don't tell you is that YouTube, Facebook, all these things are AI generated in terms of what triggers issues. And by that, I mean, you can lose your monetization on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube any day for any reason. And you may or may not be able to get that monetization back. I've known several people that have done absolutely nothing and have basically lost their channels. And some of these people had 2, 3, 400,000 subscribers, and it was a big source of income for them, and they lost it overnight over something that they deemed as being repetitive content, or something else that was flagged one way, but it actually wasn't that way. And being able to speak to an actual person who can help you from a creator standpoint is an absolute nightmare. Because if an issue happens with your account that basically takes you offline, you have no recourse. There's nothing you can do. 9 times out of 10, there's nobody you can talk to. And if there is someone you can talk to, usually there's nothing that they can do to help. They can look up your account. They can, reaffirm, yeah, this is, this was triggered for this reason. There's nothing we can do. It's frustrating, and it does happen to a lot more people than what are willing to admit it. So if that's another thing, if you're thinking about doing this as a career, or if you're thinking about leaving your job to do something like this, just remember this. Subscription count means absolutely nothing. You can lose your monetization at any point for any reason. So the biggest thing I can say is, if you started doing it for fun, keep doing it for fun. Just remember, have fun with it. That's what it was meant to be. It was social media. It was sharing things that you have passions about. And that's the most important thing. Do topics that interest you. And no matter what it is that you do, whether you're getting paid, whether you're monetized or not, do the things that you would do even if you weren't getting paid. And in the beginning, that's going to be the case. But today, everything that I do, I'm at 105,000 subscribers for anybody listening to this that doesn't know anything about my channel. 105,000 subscribers, maybe a few hundred of those are dedicated fans of the channel. The rest may have found any one of the like 4 to 5 videos that I did that went viral, and they don't watch anything else. They might look for something that comes across their feed that it closely resembles the one video that they subscribe to me for. Each video I post, I lose anywhere from 3 to 10 subscribers within an hour of posting that video. So if you're a new if you are a new creator, keep that in mind too. If you see that your metrics aren't what you hope that they would be, audience retention may not be that great for some videos, you have people unsubscribe, you just have to remember that a lot of people subscribe to you for one video, and if every video isn't the same that you do, the next video they may not be interested in. They may sign off, they may unsubscribe, they may give you a thumbs down, whatever it be. Just don't have high expectations for people, and you won't ever be disappointed. Now, one of the other things is that you just have to be cautious about what you do also. Just remember that the internet, even if you delete videos, they don't go away. Be cautious what you say in terms of people, in terms of facts, and just try to represent yourself and your brand well, and I think you'll do okay. Just make sure that when you do something that you're passionate about, it comes through in your work. And, a lot of times I've done a fair amount of interviews with people where I talk about my channel and some of the successes, some of the struggles, and all that kind of stuff. But this is a video that I wanted to put out for those of you that have been asking about advice for your channel, or should I do this? Should I not do this? I just wanted to put this out there for you so that you kind of know what you're getting into. Just make sure you develop a thick skin, because the bigger your channel gets, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to try to argue with you, that are going to try to get some kind of a response or a reaction out of you. And that's what they're looking to do. That's what makes them happy. That's what gives them purpose. And just don't feed the trolls. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight as to how to handle things if you're going to start a YouTube channel. The same goes for a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a TikTok page, any of that kind of thing. But just don't lose your motivation. Don't lose your passion. And if you think that at any point you couldn't make ends meet, if you lost your ability to make money off of doing videos, by all means, do not quit your job. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because the basket could have a hole in it and all of your eggs could fall on the ground and smash on the sidewalk. So just be cautious of that. Enjoy the ride. Have fun with it. Know that the ride could end at any time. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't expect it to happen. But just know that anything could be a real possibility. But hopefully you enjoyed this little TED Talk on YouTube creation. And if this is your first time listening to one of my videos, this is a new podcast. This is my 4th episode. Sometimes we'll bring guests on. Sometimes I'll just talk about random things. But be sure to follow the podcast if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet and you enjoy Hollywood history and all that kind of stuff. Give us a look up and subscribe. But thanks so much for listening to this, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.